How's it going, Toons the World? It is your pal Mega Snoop bringing you another Toontastic video. And in today's video, I wanted to once again go in depth into the COG golf courses and give you a little bit of advanced tips on some of the things that you may find. Now this video will be directly around the back 9 because the back 9 is the only place you can find this. And the thing I'm talking about are the 3-part mazes. In the front 3 you can have a 1-part maze, in the middle 6 you can have up to a 2-part maze, but in the back 9 you'll actually find 3-part mazes. And what makes them so peculiar and difficult to solve is the fact that they don't necessarily follow the same rules. And let me explain how the mazes work before I go too in depth. So as you see on the screen right now, this is a maze in the COG golf course. As a matter of fact, this is the only maze in a COG golf course. Any maze that you come across is going to be some variation of this layout. You'll always be coming in on one end and going out the other, depending on which way it's turned. Now for the single mazes, it's just the one block. You come in one way, you go out the other. For the 2 mazes, it's 2 blocks set next to each other. You go in one end, you come to the middle, and then you go in the second maze on one end and come out the other. However, the way the 3 mazes are set up are in kind of a block of 4. They're not a straight on path. You might expect them to look like this, but in reality, they look like this. So really you're starting in the bottom right here, and you have to make it to the top left. And because of this, it will not follow the same rules of going from the bottom to the top. At some point, you're gonna have to come out the side. And that is pretty much how every 9 maze works. 90% of the time, through the first maze, you're not trying to get from the bottom to the top, you're trying to get from the bottom to the left. So you'll follow the same rules. If you go in and you see vines, you go left, no vines go right, etc, etc. However, you'll notice that instead of trying to get to the other end, you have to end up getting to the left. That way you can get into the second maze. And when you come into the second maze, you'll be coming in from a very obscure angle. So you'll be coming in from the right, so the way you're supposed to go may not be so obvious. And you'll have to think of it as if you're coming in from the front. I'll show some examples to make it more eminent what I'm trying to say, but that's basically what you gotta do, is you gotta go sideways first and then down. And then once you get to the last maze, it's just like it's a single maze and you can just go through it normally. But I've got a few examples here and I'm gonna walk you through how to do these 3-part mazes. So you'll see in this first one, it's kind of the turny, twisty maze. Generally, you just kind of follow your way out and it's simple. But you'll notice as I'm going through the maze, when I come out the other end, it's a dead end. Now remember what I said, you have to make it to the left of the maze. So that's why I turn left. And I go around the edge of the maze and I come out the side. And then you'll notice when I come out, I see the 4-way path. Generally, when you approach this from the front, what you want to do is go in the middle and then to the right. However, you have to realize you're coming at this maze from the side. The way this maze looks from the front, however, is the regular no vine wall, in which case the way out is to go all the way around the right side. So what I do as soon as I hit this maze is I just go right, because I'm just completing the last half of the maze. And as you see when I come out of the right side, I enter upon the last maze, which is just a straight ahead maze, just like a normal 1-block maze, which can be solved pretty easily if you remember the tips from my original COG golf course video. This next example, you'll see that there are vines, so I'll have to go left. And you'll notice as I'm going around the left side, I don't go all the way down, I take another immediate left to get into this next maze. Then I take a right to go around the other side, that way I can come out here. Because again, the second maze is turned sideways, so you can't necessarily see which way you're supposed to go. But just know that if you do see that coming into the second maze, you turn right. And then again with the third maze, it's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, I have one last example here. This is one of the most important, is when you see that there's no vines and you go right, you don't go all the way around. You stop and you cut through the middle. It's a very different way to go, that's for sure, but it's something that's real important to remember. You must cut through the middle, that way you can come out through the left. You'll see that I have to do kind of the twisty path to get all the way out to the other side, and then once again I need to go around to get back to the end of the maze. And then lastly, it's a regular 1-block maze. Do be careful though, because if you do go this route through the first maze where you have to cut through the middle and there is a dead end, it's because that the game is glitched sometimes and that the maze isn't rendered properly. So if this is the case, you have to go all the way around the right side, in which you will see a wall there.
We need to build a wall.
However, that wall isn't really there. You can walk through that wall and then go through into the second maze. and then in that second maze, again, you have to make it out the left side. But hopefully these little tips help you next time you're stuck in a back nine and you have these really incredibly difficult mazes to tackle. If there's any tips you guys have, please do leave them in the comment section below. They are always helpful and appreciated. My name is Mega Snoop. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.